to our Monday chapel service. It's a place of quiet and reflection, and this morning a lot of fun. So I look forward to Jennie Bunde giving our chapel message this morning. She's a rabbinical student from Galesburg, a member of Temple Shalom in Galesburg, and a student at the Academy of Jewish Religion in California. She actually was on a Zoom class call about 5 minutes ago, so she's playing hooky from class to come and be with you all. So I give thanks for her. She welcomed our Lux Summer Theological Institute students for a Shabbat service over the summer, and so we connected there, and she's wonderful. She's also a baker. She baked the hamantashen out on the table there, so if you didn't grab some on the way in, grab snacks on the way out. I'd like to thank Dr. Solee Lee-Clark as well for providing our music this morning. It's going to be a wonderful service. So a couple of announcements as well. There is no chapel next Monday because we're on spring break. Hooray! Is everybody ready for spring break? Yes. So we'll be on spring break. We'll reconvene chapel March 16th with the Reverend Dr. Terry Ott preaching on her risks privileged people should take. And then Monday, March 23rd, students who are going on our alternative spring break trip to the south, Atlanta, Montgomery, and Selma, Alabama, will be preaching the 23rd. So now I invite you to stand if you're able, and we'll join our call to worship printed in the bulletin. God of thunder, don't just lift my voice, throw it into the wide world. Let me bellow your anger and act like a mother who has borne us, and then we'll be seated after them.
Thank you guys for having me. We're relatively small, and I am relatively informal when I give talks. So if there are things that I'm not being clear about as we go, please just holler out at me. So this coming week is the Jewish holiday of Purim. Sorry. So I thought I'd give a talk about some of the characters, Esther and Vashti, who are in the Esther story, and sort of thinking about them in the light of International Women's Day. Okay. Maybe? It is on. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. All right. All right, so the Purim story in brief 3 for the story of Esther if you don't know about it. Oh, no. Come back. Maybe. Okay. There was once a king. His name was Ahasuerus. And, come on, all right, he had a wife named Vashti. And one night he was drunk at a party and wanted her to come and dance for his friends. To which she said no. Okay, and if you look at the reading, the Jewish prayer for before we do a reading is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishna b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'aseh divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has commanded us to occupy ourselves with the study of Torah. So, from first chapter of Esther, the king wants to know what to do. So, on the 7th day, when the king was merry with wine, he ordered some eunuchs in tents of the king to bring Queen Vashti before the king, wearing a royal diadem, to display her beauty to the peoples and the officials, for she was a beautiful woman. But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command conveyed by the eunuchs. The king was greatly incensed, and his fury burned within him. Then the king consulted the sages, learned in procedure, for it was the royal practice to turn all who were versed in law and precedent. His closest advisors were his 7 ministers of Persia. What, he asked, shall be done according to law to Queen Vashti for failing to obey the king's command? And again, to dance before him and his drunken party. All right, thereupon, Monmouth declared in the presence of the king and ministers, Queen Vashti has committed an offense not only against your majesty, but also against all the officials and against all the peoples and all the provinces of King Ahasuerus. Here we go. For the queen's behavior will make all wives despise their husbands. As they reflect that King Ahasuerus ordered Queen Vashti to be brought to him, but she would not come. This very day the ladies of Persia and Media, who have heard the queen's behavior, will cite it to all your majesty's officials, and there will be no end of scorn and provocation. If it please your majesty, let a royal edict be issued by you, and let it be written into the laws of Persia and Media, so that it cannot be abrogated, that Vashti shall never enter the presence of King Ahasuerus. And let your majesty bestow her royal state upon another who is more worthy than she. Then will the judgment executed by your majesty resound throughout your realm, vast though it is, and all wives will treat their husbands with respect, high and low alike. All right, so this proposal was approved, and the king did as Monmouth proposed, and his dispatches were sent, so that every man should wield authority in his home and speak the language of his own people. Okay, so that's the beginning of our lovely story. So from here, the king got lonely. So he did what every king would do, is he sent messengers throughout the land to bring lovely virgins to him for a year. One of which was our heroine Esther. She lived with her uncle Mordecai, and she went with the messenger to the king. He thought she was prettiest, so she got to be made the queen. Okay. Also happening in the story, we have her uncle Mordecai coming to the royal city with her. The king had an evil advisor named Haman who wanted everyone to bow down to him. Mordecai refused and incensed Haman. And so Haman decided to plot to simply kill all the Jews to simplify this bowing down issue. Mordecai tells Esther that all the Jews are going to be killed and that she must go to the king. So in brief, she throws a party with Haman and the king. In the midst of the party, she gets the king a little bit drunk, tells him of the plot, and then the king is incensed, has Haman killed, and there's much rejoicing. So Haman is in chains, and there's much rejoicing. So that is the Purim story in brief. Okay. And in Judaism, we have this holiday of Purim. There's me with my preschool boyfriend. So it is a really raucous, joyous holiday. The thing they don't tell you until you get to college is that you're supposed to get so drunk that you can no longer tell the difference between Mordecai, the good guy, and Haman, the bad guy. This is like a real party hard holiday. So it's dressing up. Sammy, my boyfriend, is dressed pictures my mother picked up in the 70s in Israel. And so there's my brother and I dressed as, I think, the king and maybe Mordecai. Maybe we were both the king, I'm not sure. Usually I'm a princess. We got a lot of leg work out of it because that's my son when he was 3, also wearing the same outfit. I think he was probably Uncle Mordecai then. But anyway, kids usually dress up as either the good guys or the bad guys. Now it's a little bit more of a Halloween take too. But when I was a kid, it was always just dressing up. There's also Humantaschen. It's not human touch. Oh, no. Come back. What did I do? Did I do it? There we go. Okay. This is a package labeled Humantaschen. They're not Humantaschen. They're Humantaschen. It's a stereotype we don't need to go into. Okay. So what do we so anyway, it's a very big, fun holiday. But when we're dressing up, for girls these days, especially in light of the Me Too movement and Women's Day, we usually have girls dress up as the beautiful Queen Esther, or this is Vashti, is usually how girls will dress up as some version of Ahag. Which again, if you think about it, she got in trouble for not dancing around to the king. She was probably very beautiful. And again, you can sort of see with costumes, here's some masks. You sort of can even see Queen Vashti came to have angry eyebrows, right? So sort of how do we, kind of looking at these different sort of traditional views of Purim. Okay, so this is, so kind of get into reframing what do we do with this holiday? Because it's really fun. But this story starts to become a little bit problematic in today's day and age. Again, we have a woman who said no, and not only got in trouble for it, the entire kingdom was sent out an edict that what she did was wrong. And then our heroine, she does speak up in the end, but she's picked simply because of her beauty, and she never really talks to the king, and we have all these dynamics going on. So are you guys, do you play that there? Okay, so this is off color a little bit, so be prepared, but...
ויהי אומנת אסתר בת דודו, והנערה יפת תואר וטובת מראה.
יש! אסתר! אסתר!
רק רגע דודי.
אסתר!
כן?
מצאתי פתרון לבעיה שלנו. נכון שאחשוורוש רוצה להשמיד אותנו.
נכון.
ונכון שאחשוורוש לא כל כך מרוצה מבשתי בזמן האחרון.
נו.
אז ככה, את הולכת לארמון, עושה לאחשוורוש קצת חנדלה, קצת פוצי-מוצי, והופ, אחשוורוש לא רוצה להשמיד אותנו.
אוקיי, אחלה רעיון, אבל זה לא נראה לך קצת בעייתי לשלוח אותי לאחשוורוש. זה קצת עושה אותי...
קצת מה?
זונה?
איך סוגר?
כאילו, שלא תחשוב, זה רעיון טוב, אבל זה קצת מוציא אותי, אתה יודע, זונה.
איך סוגר?
טוב, אולי לא הבנתי. אתה רוצה שאני אהיה אחשוורוש?
כן.
וקצת פוצי-מוצי?
להציל את העם.
נו, אז זה כמו זונה.
לא, זה לא כמו זונה.
לא כמו זונה, זה זונה.
זה לא זונה.
זה כן זונה.
זה לא זונה.
זה כן זונה.
איך זה זונה?
איך זה לא זונה? אתה שולח אותי להיות עם גבר זר?
כן.
לך יוצא מזה משהו?
בוודאי, אני מציל את עצמי ממוות.
נו, אז זונה.
רגע אחד, אסתר.
זונה.
אסתר.
זונה.
אסתר.
אתה רוצה שאני אהיה זונה?
לא זונה.
זה זונה?
אני יכול להגיד מילה?
המילה הזאת זה זונה?
לא.
אז לא.
אסתר, תבין טוב, אם התוכנית שלנו תצליח, העם שלנו יכיר לך תודה, יכתבו עלייך שירים, יכניסו אותך לתנ"ך.
וואלה יופי, דוד המלך, ירמיהו הנביא ואסתר הזונה, אחלה.
לא זונה, תראו חס וחלילה זונה, את תהיי המושיעה של העם שלנו, הסיפור שלך יחיה לנצח, יהיה חג על שמך. חג של שמחה, וילדות קטנות יחכו כל השנה לחג הזה כדי להתחפש לאסתר.
אז הם התחפשו לזונות?
רק בתיכון.
And just for the record, when I told my classmates I was giving this talk, immediately someone texted me this sketch. We all love it. Okay. If you've ever seen or heard of the Talmud's 30-some odd volumes, and they're all of debate. Sort of like, well, here's this rule, and the rabbis, like, one says, well, what about this? And I think it's this, and the other one says this. So a lot of kind of back and forth. Okay. So when we get to the holiday of Purim, this is a Megillah. I also brought one, so if you've ever heard the expression, the whole Megillah, that's what one is. It's the scroll. And when we read the scroll, usually what we do as part of the tradition is anytime Haman's name is mentioned, here we go. We have things called groggers or noisemakers. And the idea is you're trying to blot out the bad guy's name, right? May his name be erased. Which, the tradition's been going for a few thousand years, so I'm not sure how effective that's been, but that's the whole idea. And when I was in high school, I was working with a rabbi who even challenged that. And again, this idea of like, let's challenge what we've been doing. He was sort of citing Martin Luther King, who said, he said hate the sin, not the sinner. So why are we spending so much energy vilifying and hating one person instead of maybe looking at maybe other characters or accepting that he's human? So, that's all my pictures, yeah. Okay, so sort of, I was thinking a lot about sort of how do we deal with a problematic text in our modern day? How do we keep it relevant? How do we make it meaningful? And what I thought about is this is one of the only books, Song of Solomon, I think it's the only other one, or Song of Songs, where God is not explicitly mentioned. We can definitely read into God being in this, but at no point is God sort of moving, do we see God specifically moving any of the pieces? And to me, what I see in that is that it's all about finding strength from God to move our actions. This is completely a story about actions. It's Vashti's actions to set the ball in motion to bring Esther into the story. It's Mordecai's motions that start Haman wanting to kill everybody, and then eventually it's Esther, sort of making motions and telling the king what to do. So to me, the value is really applauding the actions of the people that are doing right and finding strength from them, and sort of looking at that as sort of a way of elevating not only Esther but Vashti as well for speaking her mind and being something that we would look up to in today's day and age. Thank you guys I hope that was instructional and meaningful. If anyone does want to come up and see the Megillah at the end, I'd be happy to take the scroll out. But thank you very much for having me come and speak.
Thanks so much, Jennie. I'll never think about Esther the same way. Or Vashti, and that's okay. So now I invite you to join me in our prayers of the people. But first, we're going to sing a hymn. Sorry about that. So hymn number 48, Rain Down, we're going to sing it 3 times through. art in heaven, who is present in the temple, the mosque, the church, and beyond, who stands with us in our differences, join us here. Hallowed be thy name, not the names of presidents or generals, not the names of economic and political elites, not the names of those who hold human power. Hallowed be thy name among farmers and indigenous tribes whose lands and forests are no longer secure. Hallowed be thy name among people who are no longer secure. Your kingdom come to this land of nearly 8 billion people. Come as an earth renewed by laws of love and justice. Your will be done on earth. Your will to restore forests and streams. Your will to provide homes and a future for us all. As it is in heaven, your will for dialogue between the wronged and those who wrong them. Your will for balance between taking and giving. Your will for justice with mercy. Participation by all in decisions that affect them. Your will for an economy of sustainability rather than of profit. Forgive us our debts. Forgive us our culture of corruption. Forgive those who incite unrest and will not check their power and privilege. As we forgive our debtors, as we provide sanctuary to those who are different from us, as we defend the right of everyone to worship in safety, as we forgive those who do us harm. And lead us not into temptation. Take away the seduction of more and more wealth. Take away the temptation to give up our responsibility to help the most vulnerable. But deliver us from the evil of monopoly over our natural resources, from the evil of manipulating public opinion, from the evil of disregard and disdain for those who are other. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And we pray the prayer that the Christians use to affirm their faith, using the words that Jesus taught his followers. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Now I invite you to stand and we'll sing our closing hymn, number 372, O for a World. welcome to come up front with Jennie if you would like. But if you go from this place, the Lord bless you and keep you. Go out into the world doing good for all people, now and always. Amen.